Erling, congratulations. It was a big victory, and it's a victory that puts Manchester City up to second. How important was that win?
Yeah, thank you for that important win, and yeah, it's good to bounce back after losing a bad away game. So yeah, it was nice.
2 goals for you, which isn't a surprise, but talk us through, especially that first one. You were one-on-one with the goalkeeper. What did you see in front of you?
Goalkeeper, of course. I try to contribute for the team by doing my job, and yeah, we won again, and it's good to win. That's when everyone is happy. So that's what we try to do all the time. So now 2 more important games before international, and keep focusing.
Ryan Cherky started the match today. It seemed like you two had quite a nice partnership on there.
Yeah. We all know his qualities. So it's about trying to get the best out of everyone. And today he had 2 amazing assists to me. So yeah, hopefully many more.
We heard as well that it's the 15th time you've been subbed off in your Manchester City career on 2 goals. So how desperate were you for a hat-trick today? Did you feel like you could have got one?
Yeah, of course. So you need to ask Pep for this. I think there were probably a few fantasy managers that were not so happy when I got subbed off.
Do you ever surprise yourself? Because you're in great goal-scoring form. It seems like you're just unstoppable.
I didn't score last game, so again, I try to help the team to win. That's my goal, and even by scoring or helping them with winning duels, it doesn't matter as long as we win. That's what I want to do. I want to win games, and I want to help the team become a better football team, become a better football club. So that's my job. Well,
you are the player of the match. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A player of the match performance from Erling Haaland. 2 goals. He could have had a third, but he was subbed off. Would you have been raging if that was it?
Yeah, I can tell that he doesn't want to be taken off as well. But I think he understands the bigger picture. He just lives for goals. I love his attitude. I see what he wants to do. I understand what he wants to do. I understand how much the goals mean to him. He's not bothered whether he has these touches, whether he's involved in the game. As long as he gets 1 or 2 chances during a game, then he'll be happy. Now, I can imagine last weekend when he didn't score, he'd have been raging. And this game couldn't have come quick enough for him. And he's got his 2. And there's no doubt that he'll be thinking tonight, should have been 3. He'll be thinking, about, as well as the 2 he scored, he'll be thinking, I should have put the other one in.
Yeah, because Stuart, you actually said that looked the simplest of the 3 chances, the one that he had for the hat-trick.
I think so. I think he had more time on the third one. It looked as though he was going to mix up the finishes a little bit. It was the right... I just think he failed to get the correct elevation on the finish that he had. But listen, I love listening to him. He never dives on the floor. He never tries to sort of con the referee. He's cold, he's clinical, he is an absolute finishing machine, and it's a pleasure to watch him, to be fair.
It is the finishing that will grab the headlines naturally, and the goals. But let's talk through Erling Haaland's day and his contribution overall.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a handful. His job is to be really awkward and really difficult to play against. You know he's decent in the air. We know how quick he is if you're going to leave that space in behind. And I think that's where it's slightly changed for Man City, whereas they're looking quicker to get the ball into him, into the build-up. And then when it does happen, that happens. If you're going to defend like that, then there's only one thing going to happen, and he's going to punish you because of his pace, because of his ability to run with the ball, and then clearly he's top-class, lethal finisher. And it's great that he gets across the defender, but then that second touch to then push it away from the goalkeeper is really, really impressive. And this is the one he might be thinking about tonight, that he should have had his hat-trick. I can see what he's trying to do, something different to the other 2, but he just doesn't get the height on it. And again, early ball into the box. That wasn't quite happening when he first came to the club, because they might have gone back and across to the other side. But early ball into him now, and he is loving playing in that Man City side. And who wouldn't? Which centre forward wouldn't when you're as good as him, as direct as him?
I think as well, the way Pep analyses football, I bet you every summer, every off-season, they sit down and think, how can we get some more out of Erling Haaland? How can we supply him with the chances that he's so clinical at finishing?
That takes him to 98 Premier League goals, which means that Alan Shearer's record lives to fight another day. but he is inching closer. 107 appearances and 2 goals left to get. You did it in 124.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident he'll do it. Whether he does it the next one or the one after, he'll do it. I love his attitude. I love everything about him. I love how goals are his life. And that comes across in his interviews, it comes across in his performances, and I've got great respect for him because I've been there and I know that feeling, and it's the best feeling in the world, I promise you.
Erling Haaland has 17 goals in all competitions for Manchester City. Just look at the difference, Stuart, between him and the next top scorer, 2, Ryan Shecky, Jeremy Doku, Phil Foden, and own goals, of course, on 2. An over-reliance, we talked about it, because last season we saw what happened when Erling Haaland was out for a period of time.
Yeah, that's always a big worry. You know, if you do sign a striker into the football club and you notice there, all the players that have scored as well, none of them are really recognised centre-forwards. So they've literally got Haaland or nobody. But if you sign a centre-forward, what centre-forward's going to, worth their salt, is going to want to come and be understudy to Erling Haaland? Because you're not going to play.
Maybe the issue then not that he is scoring too many goals or they're too reliant on him, or that the rest of the team isn't adding in?
There isn't an issue. There's an issue if he gets injured. But at the minute, whilst he's playing like that, whilst he's scoring, whilst he's as fit as he is, and no one wants to wish any injury on him or anyone, but there's only an issue if or when he gets that knock or if he gets injured. At the minute, he's doing everything that he can for the team. And if the others, he's going to get 45 or 50 goals this season if he goes out and continues this form. But if the others chip in, if Foden gets 8, if Doku gets 6 or 7, if Cherky gets 6 or 7, then that's fine. No problem. They'll be there or thereabouts, you know, and they'll be challenging not only for the Premier League but for other cup competitions as well. So I don't see it being that much of an issue at all.
OK, well, for Bournemouth, it is a first defeat since the opening night of the season. Let's get post-match reaction from their camp. Here's their manager, Guardiola and Iraola.
Andoni, just a second defeat all season. How did you see that from your point of view today?
Yes, at the end, to try to get something from this kind of games, you need something special, and there were moments, especially with the 2-1, we had 2 clear chances from Junior Kropi. We didn't punish them, and after it was more difficult. I think in the first half, Haaland was very good. We decided to go and press like we always do, but he found our backs, I think, in the first 2 goals very well, and there are risks that you have to accept sometimes when you play like this, and they punish us. I'm pleased with the performance overall, but you need special things to get something from these games.
That fascinates me. Despite doing your game plan, sometimes do you have to say that player, as in Haaland, is that good?
Yes, he's that good. I think they asked me yesterday in the press conference that he hadn't scored in the league against us, something like this, and bad decision to ask me this, because normally he's in a great form, and obviously with the space is very difficult to defend, but we didn't want to change our way of playing, and it's true that probably between the centre backs, these moments that you have to react a little bit more quick, and he punished us 2 times. I think that the timing was not there from our centre backs. He went against the keeper.
Was that the frustration having got back to 1-1 from the corner?
Yes, at the end, I think we started quite well. We had the disallowed goal that it was clear offside, but I think we were playing well. Probably in the moment where we were feeling more comfortable, we conceded the first goal. We fight again. You get the 1-1, but it has been also a lovely movement from them. One touch, finding us in behind, and you have to accept. I think probably second half we were controlling more the game. You are losing, and they kind of take a step backwards and they leave you a little bit on the ball. But I think we were playing well. We were arriving, and these 2 chances, I think, from Junior especially, were our moment also, to score the 2-2 and probably face the last minutes in a different way.
But just finally, in the bigger picture, if it says you in August, you're going to get into November, lose only twice to Liverpool and Manchester City away, You would have taken that, wouldn't you?
Yes, of course. No, we are in a good spot in the sense of we have 18 points. I think the two losses, Liverpool and City away, you need not only to compete well, or no, you need something special to get something from these places. And now we have another difficult game, Villa away. So Premier League is very demanding. Everything is super tight, and we have to prepare and recover well, because today a lot of players finish with knocks, and I hope we don't lose players for the next one.
Yeah, on that, just quickly, how is Semenyo?
Antoine was good. It was, I think, a knee at the back. And I think also Tyler was a knock. Probably Alex Jimenez is the one that looks more ugly. But I hope we don't lose him also.
Thanks, Andoni.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
What's fascinating to me, Stuart, well, there are two things. The first one from that interview is him saying, yes, the defence, which we've already criticised some of the mistakes that they made today, but he said Haaland was just that good.
In all honesty, I think because it was Haaland, you all make excuses for the two centre-halves. Make no mistake, they were woeful mistakes by the centre-halves. Picking when to go forward, when the centre-forward was going in behind, really bad. You know full well where Haaland's going to go in, every chance he's going to score. But he'll be livid. Any man will be livid, because they've gone to Manchester City and they've handed them 2 easy goals.
Oh.
No, that is right, and I agree with him as well, is that if you don't defend correctly, then this guy will punish you. But having said that, they didn't. They got punished, but they still had their moments, even the second half, where they did have one particularly good chance with Krupi that he put wide. And it's those moments that and when he's saying you have to do something special, those are the moments when you get that opportunity, because City aren't as good as they were defensively. They do give you the opportunities. We saw that with a mistake from Donnarumma. They give the second half chance to Krupa. He failed to take that. They go up the other end, they get the third one, and at 3-1, you're looking at that and thinking they're not going to get anything out of the game now. But in terms of the big picture, you can hear him. He'd be absolutely delighted with the start that Bournemouth have made.
Yeah, that was the other thing that stood out for me, was just the fact that he said at Anfield and at the Etihad Stadium, you need something special to win there. And the run that they have been on, look, it is their first defeat in 9 games. It has been impressive.
It's been very, very impressive, make no mistake. As I say, them and Sunderland are the standout teams in the top half of the league. And I think Bournemouth's performances, both at City and at Liverpool, were decent performances, I really do.
OK, well, let's look at the goal that puts the gloss on the scoreline. It's Nico O'Reilly for 3-1. Here is the goal now. It came in the second half. Let's take a look at it just on the hour mark, Al.
Good play from Phil Foden, which puts Nico O'Reilly in that position. He goes to shoot. It's a feint to shoot, and he doesn't, and that gets him that extra sort of 2 yards. The defenders think he's going to do that as well. They're backing off and backing off again, and in the end he shoots and it goes through the legs of Senesi, I think it is, and the keeper's got no chance of getting that. And you just felt once that went in, that was Bournemouth's time up. I think there was no way back from that, although I agree with Iraola that they had maybe more of the ball in that, but I think that was because of City just sitting back and protecting their league and trying not to give anything away. But that goal punished them, hurt them.
And an assist for Phil Foden on his 200th Premier League appearance today. Let's go back to the Etihad Stadium and hear from Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola.
Pep, congratulations. It's 3 points that puts you up to second in the table. How do you reflect on that performance from your side?
There is no team, no manager, no players that doesn't mean to beat Bournemouth in the real time. So it's a so demanding team, so really good team. Happened for many already years since Iraola's here. But yeah, we played really good, and it's difficult to remember the threat in behind for our front is always there, and you have to be so coordinated to our pressing, but especially with the defense today, with the ball we were so clever. We found they played really good, and of course again Erling was decisive.
We'll get on to Erling Haaland goals in a minute, but just how pleased were you with your side's performance against a quite intense Bournemouth side?
No, we knew it. So we experienced last season in the Premier League, they destroy us. We could not never handle it, nothing, and the FA Cup was much better. he was tight and always have been tight with them, always, because they're so intense, so aggressive, and they're so wide in the process, and they threats with Semenyo and Brooks and all the players. They drop a striker, especially Tavernier, clever when play. So the two holding midfielders, they are so dynamic, and defensives are so aggressive. So listen, today is the second game they lost. We lost more games than them. So it's a team that is so good.
It was a really quick start from them. They had, of course, that goal that was offside in the opening minute, but Erling Haaland, of course, scored that opening goal. In terms of the timing, how important was it to score at that time?
It was really good. But the problem, the timing is a goal that we concede. When you see the replay, and it's unbelievable that it's not fault. So there are things that sometimes it's difficult to understand, so why it's not disallowed and this kind of thing. That was the moment. But we were stable enough to have our momentum to score the second and have a 2-1 against one with the keeper to not close the game, because one of the talents that admire the most of Bournemouth that they play minute 1, minute 95 in the same rhythm. Nothing changed, and that is the point.
Yeah, big celebrations with Haaland at the final whistle, but he did take him off on a hat-trick. Is that, you think, about managing him, especially with what's to come?
Yeah, and also as well, you've got to understand it's not all about Erling Haaland. You know, Pep's got to consider 25 players and players that are sat behind him that are desperate to get on the pitch and be part of the winning environment and that type of thing. So that's something that plays on his mind as a manager. You know, you're trying to keep everyone happy and keep the squad bubbling along.
Yeah, that run does look quite...
I'm not sure well, they're going to be one of the main challenges, there's no doubt about that. I think Liverpool need to find their rhythm and find it very quickly, you know, and I think they'll get better as the season goes on. But I think between these three sides, Chelsea will be somewhere in and around it. They've certainly got a decent depth of squad with good young players that can keep improving this year. So how close they'll get, I don't know. But we could have a really intriguing Premier League title race this year.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the three that are there will be the three that'll be there at the end. I think after 10, 12 games, the league normally sort of tells a story it'll be somewhere near what happens towards the end. And those three will be there or thereabouts. I think Arsenal have just set a different standard this season in terms of how tough they've been defensively. And they've set the benchmark for everyone to catch. And Liverpool have had their problems. City are not as good as they were defensively, but whilst they've got that guy up front scoring that amount of goals, they're always going to have an opportunity. So it's going to be between those three, yeah.